Now at 6, Missouri legislation aims to remedy police recruiting issues. We'll look at what it would do and how it would get new officers on the force. And a months-long drug investigation leads to the arrest of 3 people from Lamar, Missouri.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri lawmaker is trying to make it easier for people to join the police force. This is KOIM News at 6. Representative Lane Roberts has pre-filed a bill that, if passed, would take away certain financial barriers to becoming an officer. Roberts is the former Joplin police chief and says the bill was inspired by his time in that role. He tells us he hopes the bill will get more people into police departments all across the state.
It costs each employee about, in round numbers, $6,000 out of their own pocket in order to get a license so that they can make an application to a police agency, which again is different than many, or even most states.
If the bill passes, those who attend the police academy and are employed by a police force for at least 4 years will be able to make a request for reimbursement. A months-long investigation leads to the arrest of 3 people for drug distribution in Barton County, Missouri. They are Alan Folk, Holly Folk, and David Elliott, all from Lamar. The Folks are charged with delivery of a controlled substance and child endangerment. Elliott is charged with possession of a controlled substance and child endangerment. The sheriff's office says the 3 people were distributing meth out of a house on Lexington Street in Lamar. The man who played Buzz McAllister in the classic Christmas movie Home Alone is accused of assaulting his girlfriend in an Oklahoma hotel room. Police reports say Devin Rattray flew into a rage after his girlfriend passed out his autographs to fans in Oklahoma City free of charge. Police say Rattray was drunk when he choked his girlfriend and told her, quote, "This is how you die," and then punched her in the face. Rattray is charged with domestic assault and battery and assault by strangulation. The unseasonably warm weather just continues. Doug Heddy.
Yeah, another mild day for us today, especially for this time of the year. As we went up to about 60, it didn't feel quite as warm because we didn't have any sunshine. We had the clouds all day long, plus it was windy, but we are really going to warm up as we go into Friday. We are going to have the clouds tonight. We'll stay dry as we continue to get weak little waves that kind of rotate through, but temperatures mainly in the mid-50s. We may drop off another degree or 2, but I actually think temperatures will start to rise a bit as we head toward dawn as southerly winds start to pick up. Already today we had gusts 15 to 25, even 30 at times, but these will increase as we go through the overnight hours. So steady temps, then we start going up. So by morning, we'll be near 60 degrees across the region. We should set record highs tomorrow. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. The Oklahoma Emergency Response Team is headed to Arkansas to help with tornado recovery. Now, you might remember back on December 10th, Arkansas was one of several states impacted by a massive tornado outbreak. Nationwide, more than 90 people died in that outbreak. The response team that has responded to flooding in Miami, hurricane relief in Houston, and to Joplin following the 2011 tornado is now headed for Truman, Arkansas.
I'm blessed enough to be able to do this, so why can't I give back? You know, if I was in the same situation, I would hope and pray that there was somebody else there to provide for me also. And it's just, you know, when you go and you see these people in their hardest moments, it makes you, you know, feel the most blessed.
The emergency response team will go to Truman on January 8th and 9th. They're seeking donations such as toiletries, water, extension cords, work gloves and boots, and more. No clothing items. An assistant fire chief with the Boone County, Missouri Fire Protection District is dead following a series of crashes on I-70. Assistant Chief Bryant Gladney had responded to a non-injury accident near Columbia, Missouri. Gladney had arrived to divert traffic when a tractor trailer hit his car, an ambulance, and the truck involved in the initial accident. Gladney was pronounced dead at the scene, or at the hospital rather. The 58-year-old was a 30-year veteran first responder. An Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper is expected to be okay after he was hit by an allegedly drunk driver. It's the second such occurrence in the past 4 months. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says Trooper Preston Cox was watching for speeders when he saw a car swerve off the highway. Tried to drive away but was hit by the approaching car. The driver, Chandler Parrish, is now charged with DUI, causing great bodily injury, and DUI second felony offense. Trooper Cox was treated and released from the hospital with minor injuries. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency says it plans to reconsider a decision made under the Trump administration that allowed the state to regulate environmental issues in Indian country. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt had requested the authority last year. The EPA said in a press release that its decision to reconsider was made after extensive consultation with Oklahoma's 38 federally recognized tribal nations. It noted many of the tribes had concerns with the EPA's previous decision. Neither the governor's office nor the Office of Attorney General John O'Connor immediately responded to a request for comment. Still ahead, goats at work. We'll introduce you to the crew keeping Southwest Missouri trails beautiful. And later, the Chiefs have been hit hard by COVID cases lately, but there's finally some good news heading into the weekend. An old railroad line in the Springfield area now serves as a recreational path. There are a lot of scenic points of interest along the 30-mile stretch, including a new one, or should we say new ones, landscaped by a surprising group of workers. Joe Hickman shows us the goat mowers.
You may have heard of goat yoga, goat therapy, and goat roping. But how about goat scaping, as in landscaping? That's what is happening along part of a 400-acre stretch of the Ozark Greenway's Frisco Highland Trail near Willard City Hall, as a goat gang has been replacing mowers, bush hogs, and chainsaws to clear out vegetation, including a variety of noxious weeds.
We learned about utilizing goats to get rid of poison ivy. Another community in Arkansas was doing it.
No, they haven't taken all of our jobs, but they make it a lot easier through here because they eat the underbrush down, so we don't have to get in there.
Besides saving manpower and gas, the goats are their own waste management system, from one end to the other.
Doesn't leave a lot of dead brush and dry things behind, so it actually also becomes a fire prevention tool. Additionally, all of that manure is providing all kinds of nutrients to the soil.
They're just really unique animals. They have a big appetite. They'll eat anything. I've seen them chew on glass and aluminum cans. And my uncle had one when we was younger that actually drank antifreeze one time, and he survived it.
There are signs along the trail asking folks not to feed the goats.
Because every little thing that we feed them from our pockets, that's one less thing that they're going to eat out here.
And there is an electric fence to keep the goats in and the curious public out.
Especially when you're as popular as they are, they have, fans showing up here all the time.
The goats, though, do enjoy visitors. They stop working and stare at trail users when they come by. And they'll sometimes gather at the edge of the fence to stare longingly at the great beyond that's out of their chewing reach.
They may not actually be working, but they're planning. They're planning their next move.
And these goats do have their own personalities.
Earhart, she has quite a bit of wanderlust. Wednesday, she kind of acts as the foregoat. We would call that the foreman.
So all in all, compared to their human counterparts, this goat gang can be both good and bad.
Their pay scale would maybe be lower.
But we do have to be concerned about people butting heads.
Again, that was Joe Hickman reporting. Later, the Neosho Holiday Classic is set to get underway. We'll have a preview in sports.
Plus record highs rolling in for us tomorrow. So does that mean we could get a white Christmas? Probably not. We'll look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be another mild day for us today. Even though we had the clouds across the region, very windy, we still hit 60 for afternoon highs, about 15 degrees above our average high for this time of the year. But we could be at record high level for us tomorrow. We actually should break it with ease as we go into Christmas Eve. We have a storm system on Sunday, then the pattern really picks up. We got rain chances, we got some snow chances by New Year, so a lot going on next week. Of course, you can get my longer range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMnewsnow.com. But here's been the story. Look at this month. All these red days, days above average. really the entire month has been crazy warm. And we're going to continue that trend for a few more days before we start to get some Arctic air. Our first Arctic outbreak in here mid to late next week. All right, temps sitting into the mid 50s will drop off another degree or two, and then actually temperatures will rise a bit as we go through the overnight hours due to these south winds continuing to kick in. So that will actually allow our temperatures to push 60 by morning. So we're pretty close to our overnight low, 54. Humidity is at 77%, kind of holds steady, and then start to rise after midnight for us tonight. We do still have a lot of clouds rotating through. We aren't seeing any rain, but we have a weak little wave which is passing by. So we're going to have the clouds tonight through tomorrow morning, and then we'll start to get some sunshine by the time we head into tomorrow afternoon. But you can see the beginnings of our next waves building out toward the west, and also our jet stream dipping all the way down into western parts of California. That is new. That's this part of the pattern that we are going to see over the next 3 weeks. All right, let's go through time. During the overnight hours, still a lot of clouds. Temperatures rise to near 60 by morning, and then a quick warm up into lower 70s by noon, and then most of us mid to upper 70s to near 80 in our western counties. The record for tomorrow is 73. We should easily blow that out of the water. 72 by noon, high temp of 76. Very Christmassy across the region. Tomorrow night, clouds back in, a few random showers trying to pop up in our northern counties. The system races on by. We get a cold front on Christmas Day. I still think we'll go into the mid 60s, but a little bit cooler than what we are going to see for us tomorrow. Then by the time we head into Saturday night and Sunday, clouds increase again with our next little storm system, which will affect us by the time we head into Sunday. Also, the winds are going to be fairly strong. Look at our wind gusts tomorrow. 40 to about 45 miles per hour. But if you're going to get this warm in the winter, you got to deal with that. And that's why it's going to be so windy across the region. Let's go into Sunday. Next storm system rolls in. This will give us chances for showers and even a few thunderstorms, but my data disappeared, so it's just going to get more active next week, but we don't need to worry about that right now. 76 tomorrow, 62 on Saturday, 68, showers on Sunday. Monday, a little bit cooler. Thunderstorm chances Tuesday. Rain showers Wednesday into Thursday. Rain back in New Year's Day, and chances of snow next weekend. So a lot to watch over the next week.
But it is not going to feel like Christmas on Christmas.
Nope, not if you go outside. It's not.
That's true. Stay inside.
Yeah, there you
There's
go.
the solution. Thanks, Doc. Coming up in sports, the Neosho Holiday Classic basketball tournament returns next week, and post-game reaction from the Missouri Tigers after last night's Armed Forces Bowl. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Neosho Holiday Classic returns to Neosho High School next week with games beginning on Tuesday. Now, this year there are 8 girls teams in the field and 16 boys teams split into 2 brackets. Now, the defending champion East Newton boys are the lone local team in the gold bracket. The black bracket features McDonald County, Monette, Lamar, Cassville, and the hometown Neosho Wildcats. Now, Neosho is 5-2 in their first 7 games. They're looking forward to competing in front of their home crowd next week.
We have really good community support. They don't just come watch us, they come and watch all day. So it's just cool leading up to the day. We play at 5:30, so just you can feel the buzz around the arena as the day gets closer to our game, and you can just feel the boys getting more and more excited. And every year, the first game, like I said, it's just a different experience, and I'm excited the boys get to experience it. We play Cassville the first game. We haven't played them this year. We don't play them, so that should be good. And it's a local team too, so they'll probably bring lots of fans, which will make it even more fun.
You can check out the brackets for the Neosho Holiday Classic in this story at KOAMNewsNow.com. Well, this week, it's been mostly bad news for the Kansas City Chiefs when it comes to COVID-19. Today, though, there's a little good news. Defensive tackle Chris Jones returned to practice today after a week on the COVID list. Now, the Chiefs face the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday. Guys like Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, still on the COVID list for the Chiefs offense, as well as some guys on the offensive line, including Lucas Niang. And no matter who's out there, though, you're going to have the tough task of blocking the NFL's sack leader and Pittsburgh's T.J. Watt.
TJ, I mean, he's a great player. You know, it speaks for itself when they turn the tape on. You know, Coach Heck is going to coach those guys up just like he does each and every week. Next man up. But when it's all said and done with, obviously we know that who's ever lined up at that particular position is going to have his hands full. We know what that guy presents. We're very well of who he is and what he's about.
The Missouri Tigers finished up the football season last night in the Armed Forces Bowl in Texas. Now, Mizzou lost to Army on a last-second field goal, falling 24-22. The Tigers had a 16-7 lead at halftime, but Army outscored them 17-6 in the second half to win it. Now, last night didn't go how Missouri planned, and they would have liked to send the seniors out on a high note, but they still made a bowl game, and they grabbed some momentum for next season.
I wish we could have, sent the seniors off, better than what we did, but when we win the SEC East, it's going to be because of those guys. So, I think we made a lot of progress as a program, and I think it just sucks to end it like that. But, I think there's a lot of positives going into next season.
Disappointed for our team, especially our seniors. Just a difficult way to lose the game. Proud of the way we fought, have had a lot of adversity. Our guys gave it everything they had, gave us a chance, and just come up one play short.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after the break.
We take a moment now to recognize a local veteran of the U.S. Army. Bill Newell served from 1963 to 1965. He was stationed in Germany as part of a military police unit. His hometown, Mulberry, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Bill Newell, our four-state hero. From one historic disappointment to a 70-million-year-old discovery. Plus, holiday travel at one airport has gone to the dogs. Daryl Forges has these stories.
It was a moment 134 years in the making. A time capsule buried underneath a statue of Robert E. Lee in Richmond, Virginia. According to the Virginia Department of Historic Resources, a newspaper article from 1887 claimed the capsule was supposed to have dozens of pieces of Civil War memorabilia and a picture of Abraham Lincoln in his coffin. But when the state's governor, Ralph Northam, did the honors of opening the old box, it wasn't quite what everyone was expecting. Instead, they recovered some old books, an English penny, and even a photo of the stonemason who built the statue. But some historians are still holding out hope the real items they're looking for are still out there. Another historic discovery half a world away. A perfectly preserved baby dinosaur was unearthed still curled up in its egg. The fossil, found in 2000 but overlooked for 2 decades, is thought to be 70 million years old. Wow. Researchers at the Yingling Stone Natural History Museum in China have named it Baby Yingling and says that the creature's skeleton was about 11 inches long. In life, it could have reached about 6 to 9 feet in length. Stressed about traveling for the holidays this week, the Reno Airport in Nevada wants to help take a little bit of that stress away with the help of these festive four-legged friends. These certified therapy dogs from Paws for Passengers teamed up with the airport to help spread a little holiday cheer and bring smiles to those navigating the crowd terminals. Now that's something to bark about. Ha! I did it again. For Take a Look at This, I'm Daryl Forges.
Santa Claus is going to be able to take off his coat, at least while he's traveling through the 4 states. It's going to be his Bermuda shorts. It's going to be warm out there, Doug.
Yeah, we're going to break record highs tomorrow. Our western counties are going to push 80, which is just crazy. Very windy. We're going to have winds gusting near 40, 62 on Christmas Day, 68 on Sunday with rain chances.
Final sports note.
3 games left for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they control their own destiny. They win all 3, the number 1 seed, first round bye, home games to the playoffs.
That's what we need.
It would be nice, right?
They would have ran the table from being 3 and 4, which is crazy.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.